Respected Chair, Biplab Dhak, I am going to present my paper titled Panchayati Raj in India, Inclusive Governance with special reference to Bihar. So, due to the time framing, I reframe my presentation. I would like to say Panchayati Raj institutions, PRIs, is basically backbone of the rural governance. So, it promotes decentralization and participatory democracy. And it is important because the majority of India lives in a rural areas, and the focus of inclusion of the women, SCs, STs, and EBCs. I am skipping the historical part and the legislation framework. Just come to the point of inclusive governance and the dimensions. So, what kind of the dimensions of the inclusive governance? There are particularly important three dimensions: are political inclusion, social inclusion, and economic inclusion. In a political inclusion, we find that reservation policies and participation in the Gram Sabha, it denote the political inclusion. Then, if we skip to the social inclusion, then we find the access to the health, education, and the sanitation. And on the front of economic inclusion, we know livelihood programs and the poverty reduction is the core of the economic inclusion. So, key participatory mechanisms are necessary for the such kind of enhancement of the inclusiveness. So, Gram Sabha meetings, social audits, transparency tools, digital platforms like eGram Samaj. And because this paper is basically focused on the special case of the Bihar, so case study of Bihar, we find that the Bihar model of the Panchayati Raj, then the 50% reservation for the women, representation of EBCs, SCs, and STs, strong grassroots participation. So, what kind of outcome of this Bihar model? So, then we find that increased political empowerment, better local governance. So, increased political empowerment, that means how the individuals are now involving in the participation. Next, so development outcomes in Bihar, the model basically is the improved. What kind of improvement? That is the rural employment, MG Naregas, sanitations, and education access. It is most important is education access. Second thing, a strong role of the Gram Sabha and digital monitoring improves transparency. The other models as used for the paper writings, Kerala and the Rajasthan, we find strong participatory planning in the Kerala, and the second is high budget decentralization. This is the unique for the Kerala model of PRIs. And in the Rajasthan, we know the administrative efficiency is most important phenomena. So, what kind of the challenges of the inclusive governance in the Bihar's PRI is basically fiscal dependency on the government. We all know through hearing from 10 to what kind of the fiscal dependency on the government. The second is administrative inefficiency. The third is social inequalities, and this is based on the caste, gender, and others. So, political interference is the most important segment for the challenging part of the inclusiveness. And low Gram Sabha participation. That means Gram Sabha if are going on, but all the segments are not included, not inclusive in the participatory vote. The process of othering is also going on. So, innovations and solutions. What kind of the innovation and solution? That is make the space for the inclusiveness. That is digital governance, capacity building program. That is RGSA. So, Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan. Next, the social audit and performance assessment index, PAI. That means this is basically the based on the performance basis assessment index of the PRIs. Further recommendations like strengthening physical autonomy.
You have only 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. Regulate training for the representative, increase citizen participation, expand digital platforms, and adopt best practices from the states. So, if we are going to find what kind of, in a nutshell, we say, so PRIs are the key to inclusive governance. We all know the top to bottom approach or bottom to top approach, but this is first-hand experience of the so many individuals. So PRIs has the potential to be the key of the inclusive governance. The second is, for example, if the modeling of the Bihar, we find that a strong example of representation-based inclusion. We discussed that three kind of inclusion, but in the Bihar model, we are in position to say that a strong example is set here, the representation-based inclusion, the participation and the seats. So, what kind of the area that is concerned? So, need to address challenges for the first one is sustainable rural development. That means this all happening must be sustainable for the developmental and progressive mindset. And the second is the most important is social equity, because without the social equity we never achieve the inclusive governance goal, particularly in the states like Bihar. Thank you, sir.